real talk, you guys, for 1 second. If you guys see any green or red on my tongue, it's because I just ate a Mexican lollipop and I tried to brush my tongue and my mouth. I must have put some like magic food dye in there that does not get off your tongue, so hope you guys don't mind. Good morning, everyone. So today is another beauty battle breakdown, and today I am going to be discussing pen liners. So here I have 11 different pen liners. I have been testing these out, putting them through rigorous testing, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys my review on each of them very briefly, telling you guys kind of a comparison of all of them and just going over them in general. As a disclaimer, all of these are fairly new. They've only been used 1 or 2 times before I started this testing process, only because I wanted them to all be on the same range of deterioration, I guess, the same range of newness. So I didn't want one to be like super old and dried out and then test it against a brand new pen liner. So all of these have only been used once or twice, so they're all practically brand spanking new. Now I did my best, obviously, to get a range of pen liners. So I have Korean brands in here, I have brands that are high-end, and I have some drugstore brands here. So I did my best. Obviously, I'm not going to be testing out every single pen liner on the market because that is gonna be way too hard to do. Plus, makeup is expensive. I was buying some at the drugstore and I was like, this is drugstore makeup, how are you this much money? So first, let's start off with Sun and Park. This is their True Black Eye Pen Liner. It retails for about $21, and out of all of the eyeliners that I tried, this is among the darkest. Now this has a thicker tip compared to some of the other liners that I tested out. I personally really like this pen liner because I like how dark it is. It goes on smoothly. I wear a bit of a thicker eyeliner whenever I wear eyeliner, so I don't mind the thicker tip. However, if you're trying to be super accurate or you like really thin eyeliners, this might be a little hard to work with. I would say the tip of this is closer to like a marker style pen liner versus like a really thin pen tip liner. The lasting power of this is amazing, and actually out of all of these, this is the most waterproof. So if you are a sweaty person, or you know, you wear makeup at the gym, sometimes I do, I'm not judging, or you're just in like warm, humid environments, I would definitely recommend this one. Although it is a bit more expensive, I'm going to be talking about the next eyeliner, which is a good alternative for this. So the next eyeliner that I'm going to be talking about is from the Saem, and this is the Eco Soul Henna Marker Liner. As you could tell, for some reason, these are in identical packaging. Literally, the cap is exactly the same, the bottom is exactly the same, the thickness, I mean, it's literally the same exact packaging, and it's like the weirdest thing ever. Honestly, these are very, very similar pen liners, which is why I'm kind of putting these two next to each other in this review. So this one from the Saem is also very, very dark. It's fairly waterproof, although I will say the Sun and Park one is more waterproof. It has a thicker marker style tip, so again, if you're someone like me who likes a thicker line, probably won't affect you as much. But if you do like a thin line, it's a little hard to get, like say in the inner corner, like a very precise line with this. Another difference that I noted with the Saem pen liner versus the Sun and Park one, this one has a formula, when you remove it, it almost kind of rolls off similar to eyelash glue. So I think that's kind of a weird comparison there, but if you've ever removed eyelash glue, it's kind of tacky and sticky. That's kind of what happens when you remove the Saem one. This does last all day, and I find it is fairly waterproof, like I said. However, Sun and Park is definitely more waterproof, but if you're looking for a cheaper alternative and you're looking for a super, super black pen liner, the Saem one is amazing. It's about $8 to $9, so much more affordable than the Sun and Park. However, I would say the Sun and Park is slightly better. Now moving on to this guy here. This is from Clio, and this is the Kill Black Waterproof Pen Liner. This is one of my favorite pen liners, personally my favorite eyeliner in general, because I like how controllable this is. So the tip to me is kind of like the ultimate tip. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's not too long where it gets kind of flimsy and hard to work with, but it's not too stiff where it doesn't give you any give. I like the formula of this. It just runs very nice and smoothly across your eye. I will say when I look at it next to the swatches of all of the other ones, it isn't the darkest, which I was actually surprised. These first two that I just showed you are by far the darkest. However, it's still more dark than a lot of other formulas. I have literally worked out with this on my eyelids and it hasn't moved. Actually, I have a full review of me literally working out with this on. So I will leave a link down in the description box below in case you're curious in checking that out. Now moving on to a Western brand. This is from Maybelline and this is the Master Precise by Eye Studio, obviously in black. Now this one was okay for me. It wasn't something that I was super impressed with. In all honesty, for some reason, I just can't stand these extra long tips. I find that they're kind of like hard to work with. They're slightly flimsy and it's just not my cup of tea, to be perfectly honest. Now some of you guys might like that it is a bit longer in the sense that it gives you the ability to really kind of eyeline close to your lash line and in that inner tear duct, but for me, I'm just not a big fan. Also, this does feather a little bit when you apply it because it is so flimsy. It kind of feels like the formula is hard to control, and also I don't find that it lasts throughout the day. This is about $6 to $7 at the drugstore, so it is really affordable. However, just not my favorite, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it. Now this is a very, very prominent and popular eyeliner in the beauty community, and this is from Kat Von D. So this is the Tattoo Liner, the waterproof liquid eyeliner, and actually I was probably the most disappointed with this. So this is actually a brush tip applicator, unlike the other ones I've showed you, they're all felt tips. So that in a sense is kind of funny because I find the brush tips are almost more difficult to work with. Sometimes you kind of close the cap wrong on them and they kind of splay, or they get makeup kind of caught in the fibers between the bristles, and then it's kind of hard to get the eyeliner to apply smoothly, and then it dries out and then it's kind of no good. I will say I find it funny, I just noticed this as I'm making this video. This is made in Korea. So that's interesting that they are outsourcing it to Korea. There are definitely a lot of other Korean and yet drugstore brands that I prefer over this. Now when I actually swatched this next to all of the other eyeliners, this was actually the lightest. So it wasn't even the darkest, but this just kind of disappointed me, and I guess the reason that I'm being so critical with this is because I had heard so much hype about this product, and this is also not the cheapest product by any means. This at Sephora is 20 bucks, so for a liquid eyeliner that you have to change out every couple months, it's, you know, it's a little bit of an investment. Also, one thing that I noticed that's kind of strange with this tattoo liner is it fades throughout the day as far as pigmentation goes. So it doesn't necessarily fade as in it wears off. It turns more gray looking throughout the day, so it's kind of a weird phenomena. Again, I mean, it's not the worst eyeliner I've tried, but it's just not worth the price tag. In my opinion, it's not worth the hype. I think there are a lot of better eyeliners out there on the market, so that's kind of where I stand with that guy. Now from another high-end brand that has an eyeliner that is super popular in the beauty community is Stila. So this is the Stay All Day waterproof liquid eyeliner in intense black. I bought this at Sephora and I paid $22 for this, so it is a little bit more expensive than the Kat Von D one. It's also different from the Kat Von D one in the sense that the tip is a felt tip, so it's not a brush tip. Now, again, I kind of prefer felt tips because you can just wipe them clean. They're easier to control. The bristles don't splay, so I just prefer that in general, so I already give it a couple more points. The formula of this is actually on the watery side, so it kind of helps apply it smoothly as well. Also, I'm noticing this one is made in Korea as well, so Korea's obviously got the eyeliner game down. Everyone's trying to make their eyeliners in Korea. But this one is fairly black. Again, it is not the blackest of all the swatches that I have on my wrist or that I've kind of swatched. So in general, I'd actually say that the Stila one is very comparable to the Clio Kill Black Pen Liner. I don't say that this is waterproof. Again, when I poured a little water on my wrist and then rubbed it, this came right off. So it's not super, you know, smudge proof or waterproof. But if you are looking for a cheaper alternative to this Stila Stay All Day, you want to try something that might be kind of close to it, I would say that the Clio one so far is an eyeliner that I've tried that's much more affordable, less than half the price of the Stila one. But this is a good eyeliner. I don't want to take away from that aspect. However, I just feel like, again, it's overhyped. It's kind of expensive for what you're getting, and it's not something that I find, you know, exponentially better than other pen liners I've tried. Next, we are going to talk about the Laneige Edge Drawing Eyeliner. Now, this is a really nice pen liner. Again, I really like the tip of this. It is a felt tip liner. This doesn't feather when you apply it, which is nice because I find a lot of these ended up feathering on me, kind of oddly enough. The tip of this is very similar to the Clio pen liner, and it's similar to the Stila pen liner. So it's got that very controllable tip that I prefer and really enjoy. It's thin enough at the tip of it so you can get in the inner tear duct, and it's overall a very, very nice pen liner. However, it is Laneige, it's a little bit more pricey. I don't feel like it lasted all day, so I feel like I like other more affordable pen liners than this one, but if you want to try this one out, it's definitely still a good pen liner. However, I'm going to go back to my Clio one and say I would recommend that one over the Laneige one as well. Now we're going back to the Western Drugstore with this guy here. Now this is from L'Oreal. This is the 12-Hour Infallible, the Super Slim Liquid Eyeliner. So this one has one of those really, really long tips, which I just don't like these, you guys. So this actually feathered, this also smudged like crazy. So this doesn't have the long-lasting power that a lot of the other eyeliners have. It's definitely not waterproof. I think this is not a very good pen liner in general. I just didn't see anything that great about it. I guess there's not really much else to say. L'Oreal, don't really like it. Next we have Innisfree. This is the Powerproof Pen Liner. They also have a Powerproof brush liner, but this is the pen version, so it is a felt tip applicator. This, surprisingly, I really liked. So I was kind of taken aback because Innisfree is definitely not my favorite brand when it comes to makeup. I much prefer their skincare, but this pen liner is actually very black. It does not smudge. I like the tip of this, however, I would say it's oddly firm. For being a pen liner, it doesn't have too much give to it, so maybe if you're a beginner, you would prefer something that is a little bit more stiff. But yeah, that's the only difference that I really have experienced with this. Again, some of the other ones that I like is the tip is a little bit more firm. This also lasts throughout the day, and this is a darker eyeliner. So it is actually darker than the Clio. It's darker than obviously the Kat Von D, the Stila. So this is a very, very dark eyeliner, and it's also more affordable. This is usually about $10 to $12. So if you're able to get your hands on this, I definitely say check it out. It was surprisingly kind of an underdog. I kind of was like applying this being like, okay, come on, Innisfree. You know I'm not gonna like you, but I was pleasantly surprised. Now here, we actually have a Japanese pen liner. This is from Heroine Make, and this is the Smooth Liquid Eyeliner in Waterproof. So this is the other pen liner that I have that is a brush tip pen liner. The formula of this is fairly dark and it is waterproof. However, I will say that this is the most similar to the Kat Von D Tattoo Eyeliner. However, it's a better version because it is darker, it's easier to control, the formula is nicer, it does last longer, and it doesn't have that weird fading quality to it. So definitely like this. Again, the brush tip I wasn't a huge fan of, just personal preference wise, but if you were kind of looking to check this out, because I think this is really popular in the Asian beauty community, it's pretty good. Last but not least, we have this eyeliner, which is also from L'Oreal, and this is the Voluminous Liner Noir. First off, I hate the packaging of this. L'Oreal, what the heck are you doing? This cap is hard for me to get back on, and I have squashed this tip almost every time I've attempted to replace the cap. So it's weird because you have to like get it on the right edge for it to close, and that is just too much puzzle of putting together in the morning when I'm just trying to get ready. Again, I don't like these long tips. I just find them kind of hard to work with. I think the reason that I don't like them is because I'm a big cat eye fan, so for me to kind of get the control that I like with the wing, these are a little bit too flimsy for my liking and almost a little bit too thin, as weird as that sounds. Now this, with the other L'Oreal, the Super Slim Infallible pen liner, were the worst at smudging. So L'Oreal, let's get this thing figured out because you guys make smudgy eyeliners. So alright, so now that I have gone over each of the eyeliners individually, let's go ahead and jump into some of the testing that I did with these pen liners. this Beauty Battle Breakdown Pen Liner Edition. I hope this was helpful if you were looking for an overall comparison of the different eyeliners on the market, whether it's Asian, Western, drugstore, all that kind of good stuff. I tried to get a good little mix for you guys. Obviously, the opinions that I have in this video are my own, and I tried to explain to you guys preferences and the reasoning behind my thoughts, so take it for what you will. But like I said, I hope this was helpful. I will leave links in the description box below where you can pick up these eyeliners. And as always, I hope you guys are happy and healthy. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!